Alright, let's talk about Facebook budgets and how they work, what budget you should set, what's the pros and cons of low budget versus high budget, and everything you need to know and understand when it comes to budgets and limits in Facebook ads. So there's two settings when you go ahead and create your Facebook ads. There is the daily budget and there's also the lifetime budget. Now people get pretty confused when they first start and they don't know what to start with. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about in this video. So what you want to consider in determining the budget for your Facebook ads. So these are the variables that you want to think about when picking the budget for your ad. Number one is your product. What type of product are you selling? What price range your product is? Is it a low ticket product, under $20, $25, $30, or is it a high ticket product, $50, $100, $200 plus? And secondly, your target audience. How big your target audience is. What's the volume of audience? What country you're picking? What placements you're setting? What's your final total audience size? Those are probably the two things you want to determine when picking a budget for your Facebook ads. And that's sort of what I just mentioned. One is demographic, country, age range. If you're going to pick US audience or first world countries, you're going to want to set a higher budget because it's going to be a more expensive audience. Whereas if you go worldwide or third world countries, your budget can be much cheaper because your CPMs or the costs to advertise to those countries are going to be much, much cheaper. And parameters. Are you sort of doing placements on every single placements, Facebook, Instagram, audience networks, or are you just doing Facebook and Instagram? Because if your parameters and your placements are very small, then you're going to be able to spend less of a budget. But if you're doing automatic placements and have it placed everywhere, then you're going to need a much higher budget. So when it comes to determining the budget, you always want to determine the product and audience together. Now, a cheaper product can't secure the effectiveness of ads. So let me explain this. When you have a product that's $5 and your profit margin is $2, it is very difficult to tell Facebook to get you a purchase for under $2. Hence, a cheaper product does not secure the effectiveness of ads, because ads are only effective when you're able to get conversions, get results, give them enough money and data for them to optimally scale your ads, and basically just give them data. So if your product has a profit margin of $50, that's a huge buffer that Facebook is allowed to play with. If your profit margin is only like $5, that's not enough to really utilize and give Facebook enough data to get you purchases for it to optimize at all. And another tip is vast audience is hard to secure sales. Now this is sort of true and not. So when you have an audience that's 100 million in size, yes, Facebook is smart enough to get you purchases within that 100 million size audience, but it is a bit too broad, it is a bit too big, where sometimes you might get one or two lucky sales and Facebook might lose that hot trail and won't be able to find you that next hotspot just because the audience is so big. Whereas if you have a smaller audience around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million, that's super targeted to that product, you're gonna be able to easily get more purchase, but it's gonna be less scalable. So how far can you go for your daily budget or your daily ad spend? So basically, you wanna add the cost of your products and actually minus that from your revenue. So if you make $100, minus the cost of goods, which may be, let's say, $30, and the remaining $70, that's your budget to play with. So the formula of what your budget should be is revenue minus cost of goods equals your budget. Basically, your profit margin. Now let's talk about the cost of ads and what the budgets may bring in. Now, right now, the average cost per click of an online Facebook ads is $1.72, and this is probably to a first world audience. Now let's talk about factors affecting the cost of ads on Facebook. 1, bid. Now, people don't know, but everyone that's using Facebook, everyone is bidding against each other based on budget, who has a higher budget, who's willing to spend more, who's setting a cost control cap, who's setting their own bid. It's this marketplace where if there's like 10 people on automatic bidding, targeting dogs, someone's at $10 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day, They're going to give all the high quality traffic to the person spending $100 a day first, then to the $50, then to the $1. Hence, as you increase your budget, as you scale, you sort of outbid all your competitors. Next is ad quality and relevance. Facebook is a consumer-centric company. They want their audience, their viewers, their watchers, their users to get the best possible experience on Facebook ads. Hence, they have this rating called ad quality and relevance. So if you have a bad looking ad that's spammy that people just skip, Facebook is going to give that rating a low ad quality and relevance score, and now your ads are going to get more expensive. But if your ad is very funny, it makes sense, it doesn't look like an ad, it blends into newsfeed, you're going to get a high ad quality and relevance, and it's going to be much cheaper. Next is estimated action rates. So this is sort of like every day it's different. Like every day has an estimated action rate, and an action rate is the percentage of people that go ahead and click on it, perform an action, a lead, make a purchase. Every day is random. Usually what I find is weekends you have high action rates, and weekdays like Monday, Tuesday you have lower action rates because that's when people are back to work. Next is target audience and competition. Basically, with the audience, how many people are targeting that same audience? If there's a lot of competition for that same audience, it's going to be pretty expensive. Next is the time of the year. Cost of ads really go up and down throughout the whole year. And ads get pretty expensive during Black Friday, Christmas. They get pretty cheap during elections. So there's all these different holiday periods, time of the year, where ads get more expensive because everyone's advertising during some holiday season, or gets really cheap where, for example, April, March, July, there's just not much people running ads, and now it's much cheaper. Now it's the best time to advertise. Next is placements. Some placements are cheaper than others. So Facebook and Instagram newsfeed, mobile are probably the most expensive placements. But when you do stuff like stories, audience networks, right-hand column, those are much cheaper placements because there's less people doing that and less competition. So this whole thing is a marketplace, competition, supply, demand. And lastly is the optimization of the ad delivery. If an ad is doing well, it's going to get cheaper over time because Facebook knows who to send it for, who it's relevant to, and it just gets better over time as the ad gets smarter. So over time, your ads should get cheaper. 4. What are your goals? Are you boosting for just presence? Are you just looking to have a lot of traffic to your website? Or are you more looking for conversion sales? So based on your goals and what you're actually looking to achieve, that's the objective that you should set on your Facebook ads. Now, in every marketing move, no assurance is defined unless you test it. So none of these things can be confirmed. Like the only reason I know these things is because I've personally tested it. That's the beauty of marketing. You want to be able to test everything to learn and confirm these facts. And that's the best way to learn and master marketing. Now, these are the comments that inspired us to make these videos. So I just want to thank you guys for dropping these comments because you guys are the ones that inspired me to make these videos. So hopefully, Dawani, Tavares, Kingsley, I was able to answer your question in this video. Now let's do a recap on this video. How to determine your Facebook ad budget. 1. You want to know your product really well. 2. You want to examine your target audience thoroughly. 3. You want to know how far you can go for a budget. You want to know how you can optimize your budget by understanding the factors that affect the cost of Facebook ads, such as bid, ad quality and relevance, estimated action rates, your audience and competition, time of year, placements, optimization. Understand these things so you could go ahead and make your ads much more profitable. Lastly, you want to pin down your goals and understand what you want to achieve in order to give Facebook the right objective to get the exact results you're expecting. So yeah, that is the whole A to Z in-depth understanding of what Facebook ad budget is, how it works, how the budget is spent, and hopefully this answers a lot of questions. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please drop a comment below with any future questions for me to go ahead and answer. Now let's go ahead and announce last video's winners for $1,000 worth of courses, a consulting course with me. The winners here. If you guys want to qualify, all you have to do is drop a comment below, follow me on Instagram, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like this video, and I'll be picking the best comment every single video. Other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with nothing but more value. Peace.